The state Supreme Court rules in favor of Edmond Public Schools over library books. The Oklahoma Senate will convene for a special session today. And more on a proposed $1 billion entertainment district in Norman. We'll have details on the KGOU AM News Brief for Wednesday, June 12th. I'm Nick Daniels. The Oklahoma Supreme Court has ruled in favor of Edmond Public Schools in a dispute over library books. The state's highest court unanimously ruled that the State Department of Education overstepped its authority by trying to force Edmond Public Schools to remove The Kite Runner and The Glass Castle from library shelves. The court affirmed that local school boards, not the state, decide which books are included in school libraries. The Education Department had demanded the removal of these books due to their sexual content and threatened to downgrade Edmond's accreditation. Edmond Public Schools praised the court's decision, while State Superintendent Ryan Walters criticized it, maintaining the books were inappropriate and accused the school district of peddling porn by keeping the books in its high school libraries. You can read more on this story at our website, kgou.org. The state Senate plans to gavel in special session today at noon. Governor Stitt called for the special session to take up his nomination of Mike Holder to the Board of Regents for A&M colleges. But Senate leaders say they will gavel out immediately, as Holder's nomination will still have to go through the committee process before getting a floor vote. Holder, a former OSU coach and athletic director, was nominated after the Senate voted down Stitt's original nominee last month. Will the city of Norman commit upwards of $600 million to build a new entertainment district that includes an arena for the OU basketball team? Well, that was the main issue at Tuesday's city council meeting. As KGOU's Logan Layden reports, the people will get a chance to vote on it after a packed meeting that got contentious.
Was the public notified on the city's website that this is how we were going to proceed tonight about limiting public comment, the amount
Stop.
of time?
We will have an orderly meeting, or we will actually have everybody moved out.
Despite the Norman City Council meeting stretching late into the night, very little got decided. There will be a vote of the people, but the date of that vote wasn't set, and whether this vote will actually be binding is at best unclear. Citizens got plenty of time to make their opinions known on if the city is taking on too much of a burden for the entertainment district, if a new arena is needed, on if there should be a survey of residents in addition to the vote, and if the questions in that survey would be skewed somehow. One thing is clear. A new entertainment district and basketball arena in Norman is far from certain to happen. I'm Logan Layden.
OU Health has completed Oklahoma's first liver transplant to treat an aggressive form of bile duct cancer. State Impact's Jillian Taylor reports the new service could provide options for some patients who will no longer have to leave the state to receive care.
The type of cancer this transplant treats spreads along the bile duct and can move into the liver. Less than 10% of people survive 5 years beyond their diagnosis. The patient OU Health treated with a liver transplant went in for a CT scan 3 months after her procedure and was free from cancer. Dr. Narendra Batula, a transplant surgeon at OU Health, says he's glad OU Health is providing other Oklahomans with this option.
I think it's a serious disease and time is of essence, and I think they should be served better at their local hospitals.
Batula says the successful transplant is a great achievement for the Cancer Center. For State Impact, I'm Jillian Taylor.
The Dead Center Film Festival kicked off over the weekend. OPMX's Katie Hallam reports many of the films were Indigenous-centered, with one covering a prominent tribal issue right here in Oklahoma.
Meet Me at the Creek, directed by Cherokee and Kiowa filmmaker Lauren Waters, documents the work of Cherokee elder Rebecca Jim, who lives alongside the infamous Tar Creek Superfund site. Jim strives to bring awareness to the toxic metals that pollute the water in hopes it may one day be clean again. The film tells the story of this fight and its link with the indigenous communities surrounding the area, who have lived alongside the creek for decades. Waters wants her documentary to let people know there is still hope.
It gives people an opportunity to see a piece of Oklahoma and what people are working on that is 2 hours away, but it's still just as important because everything is connected.
In Oklahoma City, I'm Katie Hallam.
You'll find more news at our website, kgou.org, and on the KGOU PM News Brief podcast.
I'm Rachel Martin. You probably know how interview podcasts with famous people usually go. There's a host, a guest, and a light Q&A. But on Wildcard, we have ripped up the typical script. It's a new podcast from NPR where I invite actors, artists, and comedians to play a game using a special deck of cards to talk about some of life's biggest questions. Listen to Wildcard wherever you get your podcasts, only from NPR.